Good afternoon, everybody. How you guys doing? This is good old Reverend Ordo, and this is the Anonymous Republic. This is the Anonymous Republic Network. And I am Reverend Ordo. MAGA is turning on Trump. Well, I got it all wrong. It's RUMT. Whatever. I'll fix that later. So it's spelled Trump, but it's RUMOP. But I'll fix that later. What's going on, man? Now we're hearing. Oh man. We've been hearing about regime changes for decades, man. Our government has done it for decades. Done regime changes in Vietnam, Iran, Venezuela, you know, Honduras, you name it, man. But by force, but here we got Trump wanting regime change in Iran. Now, right now, we're not hearing very much about Greenland, but we do hear a lot about the Epstein files. MAGA is turning on Trump and Bondi over the Epstein files, man. And it's pissing off a lot of fucking people here, folks. Like, dude, I'm sitting here. Hey, dude. I'm good. I'm live. I'm live right now. Yeah, I'm on now. All right. All right. Wait. Yeah. We're hearing so much about the Epstein files, and a lot of you are not really fucking happy. I don't blame you one bit, guys. I'm pissed too. I'm tired of hearing about it. And all it is just a carrot on a string over our noses, right? It is. So my problem with it is, look, this is the third go around over the Epstein files. Okay. Now we're hearing he may be alive, maybe alive. Really? Okay. Grain of salt, folks. Grain of salt. Now, Donald Trump is calling for a regime change in Iran. Okay, Iran. Why? Why is it always Iran and Russia? Even though Russia never attacked us, man. Right? Cold War's over. There's no KGB, right? But even though it's like our government wants to keeps the ghost of the Cold War alive. Like why? Cold War ended in 91, right? Officially, communism died in 91. The Berlin Wall fell, right? Now we're got Trump's call for a regime change. Fuck Donald Trump, dude. I mean, come on, man. The guy, he's letting his ego ooze with stupidity here, folks. Okay, look. Some of you MAGA folks need to really come to your fucking sister, guys. Look, he reeled you in, got you all fooled and shit, but it's time to let the orange man fat go. Okay, let him go. Okay, we're tired of people up there in the age thinking they can still have a crack in running in the free world or any world at all. You know, some of these aging fucks in 3-piece suits and shit. Like, come on, man, come on, dude. Look, you're in your 80s now. Hang it up. Get the fuck out of office. Enjoy your life in retirement. Okay, enough of the traveling. Enough of your bogus bullshit. Look, this how it is. Rich old fucks do not know when to back off. Enjoy their retirement. Enjoy their peaceful life. No, they want to continue to turn the economical political knife in their backs for the next century. Right? Right? So the thing is, my question. Okay, my question. Okay. Have we had enough of this Trump bullshit, okay? Enough with the Epstein files, okay? Enough. Look, we need some smart people to be at head of DHS, right? Someone with common sense, someone who can listen to the people and actually have the balls and mental fortitude to really look at it like this. ISIS killed 8 people. 8 people, okay? They killed 9 people, okay? Simple as that. Even though both sides have influencers fanning the flame constantly online. Enough of this shit, man. Enough, okay? It's not getting any better. It's getting a lot worse. Okay, it's getting a lot worse. Okay, simple as that. Now, the thing is, we have to really understand this. Look, both sides is saying, "Oh, this side's bad. No, this side's bad." Look, this is what politics does to people. It divides you two camps, splitting it into camps as well. You got over here, you got protesters who's peacefully protesting. Other side is completely violent and greedy and wants to cause more damage. Over here, you got feds, ones who are doing the job. One side, same thing, but very, very poorly trained. Very, very poor trained. You got ICE and BP on this side over here. One trained, knows what they're doing, but over here, absolutely terrible trained, poorly trained. Can't think worth a shit, man, you know. And again, you don't hear very much about Greenland, right? How do you topple a sovereign location where it's protected by the crown of Denmark, right? You send in the CIA, you send in Mossad, maybe, to kind of help persuade people to turn the other cheek as long as the green's good, right? Because that's what Trump wants. Trump wants Greenland because it has resources that his buddies can use. Well, look, if Denmark is a NATO country, right, and they have tied they 500 years ago they partially basically made Greenland their territory, right? A little here. Trump says, I don't care if they hadn't sailed a boat there 500 years ago. I am going to own Greenland. You're basically you're basically trying to take away a sovereign territory of another country because you believe it has resources, earth elements that could help us militarily. France, Canada, They already have. They're already planning to have I said the an embassy on Southern Island of Greenland. Why? To make sure that Greenland keeps its sovereignty. Because every single U.S. corporate company wants to control other parts of the world's resources. For example, let's look at Iceland, right? Iceland, right? What is Iceland's main source of volcanic lava? The people of Iceland learn how to hone this energy of lava, okay, as a off kind of like a off-grid heating source, right? You could swim in a lake and don't get burned. Basically, you're swimming in a sauna or little no, and brilliant, kind of like an off-grid energy source, and they used it for decades, man. But here you got Greenland, right? Greenland, a floating glacier, you know, place to live. Population's like what, 40,000 or was it 30,000 people? Not very much, but people love it. But here we got a U.S. president who's a billionaire, right? A billionaire, right? Who thinks I'm gonna sue everybody who pissed me off, or I'm gonna sue everybody who offended me, or I'm gonna raise the tariff because I don't like how she talked to me, right? This is Donald Trump for you. Here's a guy who will sue anybody who he don't like how they're talking to him, how they offended him. This guy is a fucking windbag with legs, okay? Bar none, okay? Now, when you have guy like Donald Trump who wants to do a regime change in Iran, why? Look, here. Developing here, and we heard from President. Here you go. Here. This is a. Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox. It is 12:30 on the East Coast and 9:30 on the West Coast. My name is Josh Breslow, and I'm here for the next several hours as we break down all of your top stories and live events from across the country and across the world. I want to get you right back into some of the big stories that we are covering at this hour, and this is one that we've seen developing over the past several months as President Trump says that a regime change in Iran, quote, would be the best thing that could happen. His administration continues to weigh military action against Iran as nuclear talks are expected to continue next week. The president also confirming that he's deployed a second aircraft carrier group to the Middle East. Again, we do have all of this kind of developing here, and we heard from President Trump as he was asked about it just yesterday. It seems like that would be the best thing that could happen. For 47 years, they've been talking and talking and talking. In the meantime, we lost a lot of lives while they talked. And blown off, arms blown off, faces blown off. It's been going on for a long time. So let's see what happens. In the meantime, we have
hours, another carrier's going out. We'll see how we can get it settled for once and for all. All right, I do want to bring in a good friend of the show here. We have Jonathan Saye.
Now here's the thing. Let's go back 72 years, right? 72 years. 1953, President of Iran, Mossadegh, nationalized Iran's oil, right? Voted in by the people, democratically elected by the people of Iran, right? UK, US went in on the action. He says, "Fuck you, hell no." This is Iran's oil. There's no saying. Just because it's yours, just because it's you own it, you think it's yours, right? So yeah, countries like England, the United States, and Israel went in on the action. Right? They went in on the action of because if every country has oil and other elements, they want to hoard it all and leave the countries with a little bit, almost nothing. But here, Trump wants, he says, Iran has been talking for 47 years while we lost lives. Um, Trump, maybe the reason we lost lives is because we have very greedy, power hungry politicians in our government that basically is wanting to tell people what to do. Okay? They want they want the United States to be the biggest bully in the plague in the global playground because they want to control parts of worlds that they cannot even touch unless they send in somebody or send in a puppet to do the job for them. Okay? So, orange man fat. Um, do you want to take a chill pill and go fuck yourself while you're at it? Dude, look, regime changes ain't going to help at all. All Trump wants to do is remove the current guy in Iran, put in somebody else that the U.S. can control with bribes and shit, because they want what Iran has, right? And they want to keep it on taps, okay? Behind the shadows here, behind the boardrooms and shit. Behind the walls of NORAD and some shit. It's just one thing after it's just one bullshit thing after another, folks. Like holy crap, like damn, dude, shit. I mean, you got MAGA now turning on Trump and Pam Bondi or Spam Bondi over the Epstein file bullshit. Look, MAGA people are tired of Trump now. They're like, you know what? We voted for this guy for almost 12 years, almost 12 years. Well, we supported the Orange Man for 12 years, but I think we could get a little bit tired of his fake. Ugh, you know what I don't get. Okay, what I don't get. Okay, I just turned 50 last month. Okay, just last month. Okay, and I'm sitting here thinking, okay, well, how far can this go? Okay, how far can this go? Right? It was cool when Trump won the first time because some things were getting done, but other stuff were being kind of stopped behind the scenes. Okay, they tried to impeach him twice, backfired. They have tried everything, every goddamn thing. Okay, it failed, man. It failed. But here you got Orange Man out of control. Out of control. I do agree in a way that look, if ICE needs to do their job, how about bringing somebody that has common sense and actually can assess the matter and do it where, but also you got mayors saying, well, we're not going to help ICE. Some of these mayors need to really start thinking that, look, you motherfuckers voted where you want illegal immigrants in here, give them free shit. That's on you. So your problem is you want somebody to come in and fix the shit, but you chose to have a backup plan where if ICE comes in to do their job, your backup plan is to bring in these paid agitators to stop this while peaceful protesters are like, hey, they're peaceful, but they want ICE gone. I get that. I agree with that. Hey, look, the thing is, I feel it ringing in my ear. Um, the thing is, you have these politicians, local and state. We gotta get ICE out of here. Um, how about you stop and think the reason why they're there and actually, I mean, we all know politicians lie to the public. They lie through the media. The media covers it up because the media is also buddy with DC politics and shit, man. Because they pick a side. The media has always picked a side since Operation Mockingbird. Ever, ever since the CIA planted in these bullshit stories. But if a news outlet decides, well, fuck them, we got to tell the truth here. But you have FBI, threatening the editors in chief or the producers of the news network, saying, "Hey, look, if you don't toe the party line, we're going to put in somebody that will do it for us." See, we all know the media has FBI or CIA still planted since for decades, man. Or somebody who's getting paid pretty well by the FBI and CIA, all that bullshit. And also, they love being a lefty. But the facts are, look, MAGA is turning on Trump and Spam Bondi. It's bad. We all know that we're tired of hearing about the Epstein files. Look, do you think we give a fuck about that? No, because the thing is, for a third time, it's like a carrot hanging under the nose, man. It's bullshit, man. Magna's tired of it. Even I'm tired of it. Like, dude, we all know whose name. We all know who's on the list. We ain't got to see it to know who's on the fucking list, man. Because it's slippery. It's going through all the information. All the information is seeping through the cracks, and all the info vultures are diving for it, man. All the info vultures are like, phew, wanted to did the claws into it, kind of like Oh, and they know. Look, there's even people turning on Democrats. There's people turning on Republicans. Like there are people that are starting to realize, look, we're being split into two sides because of this bullshit, and we're tired. We're fed up. We're tired of just, uh, yeah, we know he's an asshole. I mean, just one thing after another. Like we're all tired of this bullshit, and all we want to do is just move on, live our lives. But no, we can't do that because we need your attention here. I get it. I get it. Look, but you have both sides have influencers on YouTube and TikTok and Facebook, you name it, and even Instagram, those Snapchat artists that are still stuck in the flame. I mean, you got Harry Sisson and Dane Withers. Those little bastards have no fucking clue what they're fucking doing, man. All they're doing is just trying to throwing large logs into the flame, keeping it flaring, man. Look, Harry Sisson is bullshitting you too. He's an influencer. He's a paid show like Dane Withers, that little cocksucker, man. And some of you remember that this little bastard was on his podcast on TikTok, talk about how like he got accused of. I did not. I did not tell my listeners to attack this guy. He interviewed a dad. The guy like said about about the whole transgender thing. He's like, no, won't go for it. Won't go for it. Then he said, well, I'm gonna make sure you lose your kids. I'm gonna call my base and call CPS and then have them rush you. Like, dude, he denies it, even though it's been heard. Okay, been heard. The whole hurt. He's a paid shill too. He's a paid shill lefty loony influencer, just stoking the flame, man. Just wanted to stoke the flame for his fucking ego, his ego. You know, and you know, and he has his fan base, but his fan base is like him, fucking stupid. Harry Sisson has his fan base, all retards, man. That shit. But the thing is, we need to have some fucking common sense, folks. All right, we need to have some goddamn common sense. All right. Yeah. All right. All right. So the thing is, look, we're all tired of this shit, man. We're all tired of this bullshit. And look, we need to come together on common ground, put our politics and differences aside, come together as a country like, hey, man, we're tired of this crap, dude. Shit. Fix this shit or we'll remove these best, man. Shit. Locally, they ain't doing shit. Statewide, they ain't doing shit. But nationally, what the fuck they're doing, man? All right, folks. My name is Reverend Ordo, and this has been the Anonymous Republic Network. If you're new to this channel, like, subscribe, comment below, hit the bell for notification, and always live healthy, happy, and wise. I love you guys. Peace out. Godspeed. Buddha bless.